My name is Rebecca Wingo, and I'm a PhD student at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln in the Department of History. I'm originally from North Carolina, and I did my master's in Native American Studies at Montana State University, and now I'm here in the American West program at Lincoln. I decided to come to UNL for the program in the American West, and also for the potential of doing a program or a focus in Indigenous peoples. That fit really nicely with my master's in Native American Studies. Also, the scholars here are really what pull you in, and Margaret Jacobs is a Bancroft Prize winning scholar, and so I really wanted to work with her, and fortunately she is my advisor. So, you know, the scholars here, the academic program, and the institutional respect as an American West program is really what brought me here. My research focuses on photography in the American West, but more specifically on photography of Native American reservations. I'm currently looking at Crow Reservation and trying to identify a counter-narrative to the rhetoric of civilization being espoused by the federal government during the early 1900s. And so I'm trying to use photography to find that additional voice. As a matter of fact, we received a photographic collection at the Center for Great Plains Studies that I've gotten involved in, and it is on Crow Reservation as well. So there are materials here that surprise you, and it's really great. As far as interdisciplinary programs go, I participate in several. I'm part of the 19th Century Studies group, and that crosses all the humanities disciplines, looking at English and modern languages and other departments like that. And we meet every once in a while and have a reading group where somebody presents their own research. I'm also part of an interdisciplinary, it's brand new, interdisciplinary program in the Center for Great Plains Studies. We're developing a new graduate culture there that will pull Great Plains scholars from across all the departments and set up a sort of a fellowship for them, a little study area, and create a culture there that does peer review and critiques of people's presentations and things like that. I'm also heavily involved in the digital humanities, which is inherently interdisciplinary itself. While I knew that the University of Nebraska was very strong in the digital humanities, and especially in digital history, I never really considered myself a digital historian. But through the history department, I started taking digital history classes and even developed my own digital project. And so through that, I actually became sort of obsessed with digital history and the ways in which it could open up new research opportunities for me. It's a methodology that allows you to engage in your own materials in a different way, that opens up sort of evidence and conclusions that you wouldn't find any other way. Being involved in the digital humanities here at UNL has actually opened up further opportunities for me. I signed on for a project with the Buffalo Bill Historical Center. We host the Cody Archive here at UNL, and the project that I am doing is actually sort of a companion site to a project done by Michelle Delaney, one of the directors at the Smithsonian Institution. And so I'm working closely with Michelle and closely with the BBHC and closely with UNL, and my networks have just expanded radically. And I even have people emailing me for advice on how to create new sites that look something similar to mine and what tools I use. And it's just the digital humanities community and the culture is so interdisciplinary, and it's so helpful. People want to help you, and they want to sort of spread the knowledge of new tools and things like that. And so I'm even giving a conference presentation with a couple other girls here in the history department at the Western American Women's History Association. And so we're doing that in May, and we've got a nice panel set up. We're going to host a workshop, and we're going to further other people's education with digital humanities and teach them the tools as well. The thing I really like about my teaching assistantship at UNL is that it's kind of a mentorship program. And so you get to learn how to teach from some of the best teachers in history. And that's really one of the crucial parts, is you want to learn from the best, and you do. And so I learned how to give lectures, write tests, write good quiz questions, things that I thought I was good at, but I got extra pointers and now I'm excellent, you know? So the way the history department sets this up leads to, further advancement of your own teaching skills, and it leads to close relationships between those teachers who can help read your papers, look for conferences for you, get you into publications. And so the teaching assistantship is really part of a bigger mentorship culture here at the department. My teaching assistantship here at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln is different than others that I've been engaged with, particularly at my master's institution, because there is such a connection between you and the students. Nebraska is a very welcoming and warm place, and the students really, if you reach out to them, they'll reach out to you, and it's very rewarding. I've managed to form lasting relationships with some of my students. One of them has recently asked me to review a paper that she wants to submit to a conference because she also wants to go to grad school now. And so just those kind of rewarding examples are really what makes the teaching assistantship here so worthwhile. Service is a really important part of grad school, but it's even more important to the history department. We like to not only pull the community into our classroom, but we also like to go out into our community. Every year, the History Department Graduate Students Association hosts a conference called the James A. Raleigh Conference. This is an interdisciplinary conference that gives undergraduates and graduates a chance to showcase their scholarship. And it's really beneficial for both to gain that experience in presentation and learning how to eloquently talk about one's research. Other things that the Graduate Students Association does here is we're heavily involved in History Harvest, which is an undergraduate history initiative to sort of digitize and collect records of important historical artifacts from the areas surrounding the university. And so we try and involve ourselves with the undergraduates as well to help them out on their endeavors. We also reach out to the community in other ways. Nebraska Wesleyan University hosts every year History Day, which pulls in all of the best history projects from middle school and high school, and we help them judge their history projects, and whoever wins goes on to national championships. And so we really like to not only pull community into our classrooms, but also push us out into the community. And these sort of service initiatives are what really spreads your network, and it helps you along with your graduate career. Last year I had the unique opportunity to work closely with the Center for Great Plains Studies. They put on a symposium on 1862, it was the sesquicentennial, and we did a number of things that really furthered my own knowledge about how to run a conference, but also about digital history. And so for the first time here in Nebraska, we had an electronic poster session. And it was just really fun. We got in a bunch of TVs, 40-inch TVs, and my part was to be the liaison between not only the graduate students here and the Center for Great Plains Studies, which is here in town, but also with the National Park Service, which was putting on the conference, and the people who wanted to present their electronic posters. And so I got to meet all of these people, and I got to help create digital posters, which was really fantastic. And I am currently still working with the Center for Great Plains Studies quite closely to develop a fellowship program for graduate students. So all of these opportunities have really opened up just due to service and the opportunities that the Department of History gives you here. The real benefit to working closely with the Department of History is that it doesn't matter if you're a master's student or a PhD student, the same opportunities are available to you no matter who you are and what you study. And so if you want to get involved in the department and you want to get involved in the community, all of those opportunities are open to you. I'm Rebecca Wingo, and I'm making history at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln.